I now own all 3 Blockbuster exclusive Thomas VHS tapes, which means I now own at least one variant of every Thomas VHS released in the US, and as well as having the original release of every DVD released in the US, which means my Thomas home video collection is basically complete. Well, what am I going to do now? Well, with collecting all of this stuff, I've acquired a lot of knowledge looking up random trivia about them. I mean, I've made like 9 videos about them. And I want to share all the information that I've gathered with you by telling you one fact about every Thomas home video release. So let's get started. Whoa. Thomas gets tricked. On some copies of the 1990 Strain VCI Master, there is a message featuring a picture of Sir Topham Hatt that zooms out to reveal Strain VCI's mail address on a blue and purple gradient background, encouraging viewers to write to Sir Topham Hatt to receive a tin of cookies as a thanks for buying the video. I wonder what that box looked like. James learns a lesson. This is the only VHS with any Ringo Starr narrations to receive a 2000 style cover, one that has this design. Tenders and turntables. The 1990 Strain VCI Master is the only US release to feature Henry's left-sided nameboard. If you didn't know, some characters got 2 different nameboard shots. Edward and Toby's alternate nameboards are on all 5 of the Ringo tapes. Percy's alternate nameboard is only on the Australian Truckloads of Fun DVD, to my knowledge. And James's alternate nameboard is only on Cassette 1 and Troublesome Trucks, the UK VHS tapes. And also, Thomas got an alternate nameboard, but the only time we've ever seen it is a picture in this Ladybird book. The footage of this is just straight up lost media. Thomas breaks the rules. This is the last VHS to get a red cassette. Yeah, look how cool this looks. Better late than never. This is the last VHS to feature Ringo Starr's narrations until Best of Percy. Trust Thomas. The DVD master of this has episodes taken from many different sources, mainly because the VHS master was kind of poor quality. And why they didn't just make a whole new master with restored footage, because this came out in 2007, I don't know. Thomas gets bumped. The Time Life release of this tape has slightly different title cards than the regular tape. They're still in Rockwell, but some of them are in a different position on the frame. Thomas Percy and the Dragon. An early version of the VHS cover has Diesel on the cover, even though he's not featured in any of the episodes. By the way, this cover is literally the only US Thomas VHS cover variant that I do not have. Daisy. This is the first release of the episodes Daisy and Percy's Predicament because they did not air on Shining Time Station. James Goes Buzz Buzz. This is the only full-length VHS to be available in a wooden railway set. This version was, with this label. Percy's Ghostly Trick. The echoed soundtrack version of this tape, during Thomas and Percy's mountain adventure, you can hear the music overlapping itself, starting after the Santa Claus scene that was taken out. It's like they combined a version of the dubbing track with the scene taken out, and one without the scene taken out, and put in the episode with the footage of the scene taken out. You can hear the sound effects match up with the footage, and then 17 seconds later, you can hear the same music and sound effects again. Here's a clip of it.
Still back at the siding, isn't it? Percy hurried back to fetch it. Just then, Toby arrived with Henrietta. "We've brought lots of hot drinks and food for the villagers," he whistled. All the engines had gone back to the sheds, except Toby. The villagers had made a plan to thank the engines. They loaded paint pots and parcels into Henrietta. When the engines woke the next morning, they could not believe their eyes. The sheds had been repainted and decorated.
Thomas's Christmas Party. This VHS was released in a 2-pack with the Shining Time Station VHS Tis a Gift in Toys R Us around 1998 or so. Rusty to the Rescue. This is the last Thomas DVD released by Anchor Bay, and it's the only DVD to show a narrow gauge engine in the menu. Thomas and the Special Letter. Both the 1995 version and the 2002 version have the episodes listed in the wrong order. On Gallant Old Engine and basically every other VHS that looks like this, the episode order is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then on the re-release cover, it's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. But on Thomas and the Special Letter, it goes 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and that carries over to the 2002 cover, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Thomas and his friends help out. The prototype cover of the 2002 VHS had Edward on the front, which would have made it the first and only time Edward appeared on this style of cover. Gallant Old Engine. This is the only US release to have 3 completely different cover designs, with the 1995 version, the 2002 version, and the 2008 DVD. Sing Along. This is the only Lionsgate re-release to feature a CD with music on it. Thomas Meets the Queen. This is the last mainline release to be exclusive to VHS, and it's the only release with exclusive episodes that never got a DVD release. Thomas and his friends get along. This is the only DVD release that looks like this, where on the disc it's missing the image that's on the bottom of the cover. Thomas Comes to Breakfast. This marks the first release of all the George Carlin dubs of every episode that's on this. Because, as you can see right here, Volume 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, that Volume 3 is Tenders and Turntables, and then Thomas Breaks the Rules, and Better Late Than Never. This is the first time that they were released with George Carlin's narrations. A Big Day for Thomas. The 1998 VHS was only released in a 2-pack with Thomas Comes to Breakfast, which is why it's kinda hard to come by nowadays. Cranky Bugs. This is the only release to feature Class 40's nameboard in the nameboard intermissions. Thomas's Useful Stories. The Thomas Comes to Breakfast section on this VHS has an echoed soundtrack, which is also on the Canadian version, but to this day we haven't found any copies of the US version to have an echoed soundtrack that sounds like this.
I do not like engines popping through my walls, fumed the barber.
Races, Rescues, and Runaways. This and Percy Saves the Day are the only classic series releases where every episode is exclusive to it, where none of these episodes were ever on any other release. 10 Years of Thomas. This is the only DVD where the song appears in the episode selection when you go through it on the menu. Spills and Chills. Some copies of this VHS came with a trailer for Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Only the versions, released before it came out in theaters. This one doesn't, but there are some copies that do. Make Someone Happy. The DVD release has a unique menu where it's Sir Topham Hatt at a theater. Why they made that for this one, I don't know. Thomas's Christmas Wonderland. This is the last VHS to come in a blue cassette. They stopped doing it after 2000. Thomas's Trackside Tunes. This release has unique episode transitions with shots of the characters from Season 5 with a steam cloud bouncing over their name. Also, I was born on the same day this VHS was released, February 13th, 2001. Best of Percy. This is the only Anchor Bay release to have Ringo Starr's narration and George Carlin's narration on the same tape. Best of Thomas. This was the first episodic Thomas DVD released in the US on September 25th, 2001. Best of James. This is the only DVD to not have Thomas anywhere on the case, not on the spine or on the back. Salty Secret. Every episode on this release has scenes that were shot in both 16:9 and 4:3. The UK versions, the 4:3 shots are letterboxed, and in the US version, the 16:9 shots are pillar boxed, so they're edited differently. Thomas's Magical Musical Ride. This is the only one of the Blockbuster exclusive tapes to be a combination of the covers of the 2 tapes that it's a double feature of. It's the same image of Thomas and the musical notes in the background as Sing Along, but it's the same color and the same bottom image as Thomas's Trackside Tunes. Thomas's Fan Favorite Adventures. On the back cover, Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover actually has the correct grammar, because on the back cover of Best of James, Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover has an apostrophe in its when it's supposed to not have it. 2 Thomas Adventures. This is the only VHS where the label doesn't say the title. It just says Free Sampler Video. Percy's Chocolate Crunch. This is the only release where some versions of the VHS came with a cassette with 4 songs on it. I don't have Percy's Chocolate Crunch songs cassette. And some versions of the DVD also came with a free CD with songs on it. Percy's Chocolate Crunch is the only release to have both. Best of Gordon. This and Thomas and His Friends Help Out are the only DVDs with no songs on it. Fun with Thomas. This sampler DVD is the first release to be exclusive to DVD. Thomas's Sodor Stories. This sampler of VHS is the only release to have only Season 2 episodes on it, Better Late Than Never and Woolly Bear. Yeah, so I filmed that whole video and just entirely forgot about James and the Red Balloon, so here it is. James and the Red Balloon. This is the only DVD to have an alternate variant of the Sodor Superstar Hall of Fame. Every other DVD has it like this, and James and the Red Balloon has it like this. Thomas's Snowy Surprise. On the first release of the VHS and DVD and the booklet, the back cover lists Thomas's Snowy Surprise instead of It's Only Snow. I guess that was like a working title for it. Thomas's Trainyard Adventures. This sampler features an early version of the Reverend W. Awdry's letter that was used later in TV airings. You know, the one that's in the beginning of the Thomas's Tank Engine book. New Friends for Thomas. This is the only US release to have episodes narrated by Michael Angelis. Steamies vs. Diesels. In the bonus feature Steamy Stumpers, they get a bunch of facts wrong, maybe because they were based on early drafts. And also in Steamy or Diesel, they call Spencer a diesel for some reason. Quarry Adventures on Sodor. This is the last new DVD to feature nameboards from the 4th season. Thomas and the Jet Engine. This is the only release to have Michael Brandon's Season 7 narrations alongside Mike O'Donnell and Junior Campbell's music. It's Great to Be an Engine. This is the first release to be available in both the US and UK with no difference in the title, the cover design, or the choice of episodes. The Early Years. This is the only time that US got a full season in one set. Hooray for Thomas. This is the only Anchor Bay DVD menu to be narrated by Michael Brandon instead of Robin Smith.
Welcome to the island of Sodor. I am Sir Topham Hatt, and today is a very important day on the Sodor Railway.
Thomas's Sodor Celebration. This is the first DVD to have 3D CGI in the menus. Songs from the Station. This and Thomas's Christmas Wonderland are the only DVDs to never get re-released by Lionsgate, either by itself in Canada or in DVD packs. Percy Saves the Day. The prototype cover of this would have been yellow, with a pic from What's the Matter with Henry on the bottom. Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. This is the last new DVD until Signals Crossed to not have the engine roll call at the end. Track Stars. The UK release of this was called Tales from the Tracks, but the US release of the following DVD was called Tales from the Tracks. Why they decided to name two completely different DVDs the same title so close to each other, I don't know. Tales from the Tracks. This was the last Thomas VHS released in the US. On Site with Thomas, this and Thomas's Trusty Friends are the only US DVDs to have an exclusive song that wasn't released on any other DVD in the whole world. On this, it was the work song, and on Thomas's Trusty Friends, it's One Friendly Family. Thomas's Halloween Adventures. This is the only US DVD to have 3 different slipcovers. This one, and this one. Come Ride the Rails. When this was first released in Walmart in the US, it came in a home video bonus pack with the take-along caboose with their logo on it. I still need to get that. Milkshake Muddle. This is the first DVD to not have any bonus features. Thomas's Trusty Friends. This is the first DVD where there is no narration in the menus. Every DVD after this is the same. Carnival Capers. This is the last DVD to feature learning segments. Thomas and the Toy Workshop. The titles of the episodes on this aren't read aloud, even though they're from Season 9 and the TV airings did read them aloud.
Thomas and the Toy Shop. Bold and Brave. Percy and the Oil Painting. Thomas and the Rainbow.
Ultimate Christmas. This and Thomas and the Toy Workshop are the only DVDs to have screener versions that came in a cardboard sleeve like this. Thomas's Sodor Celebrations and Steamers vs. Diesels also got screeners, but in a regular case. Thomas and the Treasure. This is the only release from Anchor Bay to feature Season 10 episodes. Engines and Escapades. When this DVD was released, there were 5 different Trackmaster releases to coincide with it. There's Duncan Does It All, Sir Handel in Charge, Ding-a-Ling, Skarloey Storms Through, and Just Madge by Herself. Mud, Glorious Mud. Because Not So Hasty Puddings was released for the first time on this, that makes that the only Classic Series episode to never be on a VHS. And it's also the last time that the DVD changed the title of an episode for no reason, with Thomas and the Avalanche. Railway Friends. In 2017, this DVD was available in a 2-pack with Extraordinary Engines for some reason. High Speed Adventures. On the slipcover, Sir Topham Hatt is behind Thomas, but on the cover, he's in the cab, as it's supposed to be. Team Up with Thomas. This DVD got re-released in 2019 with a Valentine's Day slipcover for some reason. Percy and the Bandstand. This is the last DVD until Christmas on Sodor to list the episodes on the back. Holiday Express. This is the only DVD to feature the restored version of Thomas and Percy's Mountain Adventure with the Santa scene edited out. What's a Santa Claus? Splish Splash Splosh. This is the first episodic DVD to have tie-in wooden railway packs that advertise the DVD. Here's a couple. Thomas and the Runaway Kite. This DVD, as well as Splish Splash Splosh and The Lion of Sodor, were shown in select theaters in 2009. I wonder what the box office for those were, and if they were better than Megalopolis. The Greatest Stories. This is the only US DVD to feature the music video for the song Never 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 Give Up. Creaky Cranky. This is the last DVD to have a character's name in the title that isn't Thomas. Merry Winter Wish. This DVD was delayed a whole year in the UK to redub the episodes to say Christmas instead of Winter Holidays. I remember somebody mentioning it on a Discord server that the TV airings where Michelangelo says Winter Holidays, they might be lost media, or he might have found them yet by now. I don't know. The Lion of Sodor. Allegedly, this was planned to get a Blu-ray release in Germany, but that never got made. And if it did, that would have been the first and only time a Thomas episode was on Blu-ray. Wobbly Wheels and Whistles. This was the last DVD released in Scandinavia until Big World Big Adventures. Pop Goes Thomas. Bridget Hatt appears twice on the cover, right there and right there. The Birthday Express. This is the only DVD to have episodes from the model era and the CGI era, but only Season 12 and Season 13. Thomas in Charge. This is the last DVD to not get re-released by Universal in the US or Canada. It's only by Lionsgate. Merry Christmas Thomas. Some copies of the UK version came with a bonus DVD called Big Bang Surprise, which contained these 5 episodes. 4 out of these 5 episodes were later released in the US on the DVD Wild Water Rescue, all of them except for Sodor Surprise Day, which makes that episode and Henry's Happy Coal the only episodes of the Nitrogen era to not be on a US DVD. Rescues on the Rails. This was re-released by Universal in Canada with French text on the font, but it wasn't re-released in the US by Universal to our knowledge. Curious Cargo. The prototype of the Italian cover has the same design as Thomas in Charge, and the title was Henry's Good Deeds. Up, Up, and Away. This DVD got re-released in the US in 2017 for some reason with a different cover. Engine Friends. This is the first DVD to have a Ringo Starr narration that wasn't on the first 5 VHS releases since Best of Percy. It has Save from Scrap and A New Friends for Thomas. Yeah, if you didn't know, the first 5 Ringo Starr tapes have the same episodes as Casey. If you didn't know, the first 5 Ringo Starr tapes have the same episodes and the same order as how they appeared on Shining Time Station Season 1 up until the episode Mapping It Out, which had The Runaway, which is the last episode on Better Late Than Never, and Percy Takes the Plunge, which was put on Best of Percy. And then the following episode was Things That Go Gahooga in the Night, which had Woolly Bear and Percy's Ghostly Trick, and those Ringo Starr dubs were never released on any home video. And the following episode was the season finale, Is This the End, which had Save from Scrap and A New Friend for Thomas, which was put on Engine Friends. Schoolhouse Delivery. For some reason, the only country outside of the US and Canada that got this was Poland. A Very Thomas Christmas. This was the last DVD to feature the episode Buzzy Bees when it was purchased as a digital download. Sticky Situations. This DVD was released with character sticker magnets. Here's a picture if I can find them. Muddy Matters. This is the first Nitrogen era DVD where the US version has more than 4 episodes, where it has 5. Go Go Thomas. This and Wobbly Wheels and Whistles are the only episodic DVDs to have 6 Wooden Railway tie-in items. Now to the good DVDs. Railway Mischief. When this was first released only at Walmart, it came with a bonus take-and-play poster. Animals Aboard. This is the last DVD where none of the featured episodes are exclusive to it. All of these episodes were released before. Santa's Little Engine. This is the only time that Mark Morahan re-narrated a Nitrogen series episodes, being Snow Tracks. The Thomas Way. This is the last US DVD where the episodes are in 4x3. Why it took them this long when the UK got them in 16x9 since day 1 in 2002 with the release of the Fogman, I don't know. Spills and Thrills. There were several take-and-play packs that advertised this DVD, but the scenarios that were in them were completely made up. Stanley's Construction Clash, Whiff's Banana Blooper, Bash's Tree Tumble. These 2 were in the episodes. Why they just made completely new ones, I don't know. Bash isn't even in Season 17. Trouble on the Tracks. This was the last Thomas DVD released by Lionsgate. Engines to the Rescue. This was a Walmart exclusive released in a 2-pack with Tale of the Brave, but it was also released in Greece for some reason. The Christmas Engines. This is the last UK DVD to have the engine roll call only after the last episode. Every other one either just doesn't have it or has it after every episode. Signals Crossed. This is the only CGI era DVD in the US to not have engine roll call at the end. Dinos and Discoveries. This DVD is featured as a bonus disc on the Complete Series 18 DVD. The same thing happened with Season 19 and 20 with Start Your Engines and Extraordinary Engines. Whale of a Tale. When this DVD was released in Croatia, it looked like this, with the top banner from the Great Race poster on the top. Wild Water Rescue. You may already know that this has the model series Determination music video in it, but you may not know is that this is the last DVD to have Miller era episodes on it, and it's only the second DVD to have Brenner era and Miller era episodes after Santa's Little Engine. Thomas's Christmas Carol. This DVD has the episode Diesel's Ghostly Christmas, which is a double-length episode. It was combined into one episode on this DVD, but when it aired on TV, it aired as two different episodes, as Part 1 and Part 2. Tales on the Rails. This DVD is in 24 frames per second instead of 30 frames per second, which makes the quality a lot worse than normal. Start Your Engines. In the language selection menu, an instrumental of a song from Barney the Dinosaur is used. I don't know how they made that mistake. Tinsel on the Tracks. The episodes The Christmas Coffee Pot and Over the Hill were created exclusively for this DVD, which is why they didn't air on TV or were in the Complete Series 20 DVD. Ultimate Friendship Adventures. This is the only DVD to have more than 6 CGI episodes on it. It has 10, and is the only DVD since Milkshake Muddle with no bonus features. Extraordinary Engines. This is the first DVD to use the Season 19 engine roll call, even though it's like the 6th DVD to have Season 19 or 20 episodes on it. And finally, Christmas on Sodor. This is the last episodic DVD released in the US of the original show, which makes it the only DVD to have the Season 19 intro, and it's the only DVD since Percy and the Bandstand to list the episodes on the back. Oh, my ass hurts.